Hello everyone, Zane here and welcome to another Final Fantasy XIV video. Today I'm going to show you guys what to sell the McGill from the Moogle event, The Hunt for Allegory. Before we continue with this video, if you guys want early access to my guild making guides that involve the market board, as well as a week in advance of my methods, consider becoming a YouTube member or Patreon supporter for $1 a month. Links for those are in the description down below. So this event only lasts until patch 7.3, which should be coming out on August 5th, since that is early August. So we got about 3 weeks before this event is over with. So talking to the Moogle, you'll get your mock pendium. If you already got in the previous ones, you should have it automatically. So we have the hairstyle, which is from Heaven High Silver Lock Boxes. The Cursed Horde. You have the necromancer, which is from Hero's Gauntlet. You have the machinist barding, which is from Ishkar Restoration. Then you got the fist pump emote, which is from the Hydados Moist Lock Boxes, which you're going to have to kill enemies that are a little bit above your level, which is level 60. So you're going to have to kill either the wyverns at night or the pious in the daytime to get them to mutate to drop those lock boxes. And then you're not even guaranteed to get the emote. So that's why it's pretty expensive. So I went with the necromancer because minions are always universal, and then the machinist barding for your chocobo, which is also universal. Hairstyle is based on taste. And because the emote is, in my opinion, not as great as minions or barding, that's why I didn't go with that. But it's going to be determined by you and your server's market board. So when you do the Moogle event for the very first time, you have the Ultimog, which is going to give you 70 tomestones. If you have not done Endwalker main story quest and have not done the Sylvan Subterrane, this is not going to be available to you, unfortunately. Minimog is going to be for everybody. Societal quest is in A Realm Reborn as well, so you guys can still do it. And then you also got ocean fishing, or fishing in general, which is in A Realm Reborn as well, so you guys can do these. And these will be for everybody. And this will change every week. The weekly is going to be different from everybody, so what you get is going to be different, but that's going to be 30 altogether for those. So you guys can get 2 hairstyles or 2 necromancer minions through this. Once those are exhausted, then you have your standard objectives. If you're going to be doing solo, Carter's Cry is your best bet as a blue mage. If you don't want to do that, you can do Orm Vale with a group of blue mages, which is going to be fastest. The first 2 bosses in both dungeons are susceptible to missile, which is good. If you want an 8-man, quick one, you can do the first circle in the raid and Endwalker. 1 tank and 7 DPS should do just fine. Then at the bottom here you get ocean fishing, which is going to be even hours for East Coast, odd hours for West Coast. Or you can just check the NPC for the scheduling. So this is going to give you between 5 and 10. Okay? 10, if you get, I think, over 10,000 points is a guaranteed 10 tomestones, which is going to be a little RNG if you get the spectral currents or not. The gates is going to be between 1 and 10, and this is going to be determined by which gate you get, which is going to be every 20 minutes. Cliffhanger is pass or fail. Save the chocobo, you get 3, you don't, you get 1. Air Force 1, depending on your score, if you get a perfect 5,000, it's a guaranteed 4. Leap of Faith, you have to get all of the trophies to get 4. Any way the wind blows, it's basically survivable. If you survive all the rounds, a guaranteed 8. If you don't, it's going to be determined how many you actually survived. I survived, I think, 2 rounds and you only get 1 tomestone, so I think like 3 you would probably get 2, and then like 4 you might get whatever, but all of them you get 8. Slicer's Right is MGP based. So, if you can get more pile of gold during the dog phase, great. If you can get double down with the shell game, great. But if you don't, it's going to be determined by how many rounds that you survive. But if you survive all the rounds and you get very good RNG with the shell game, you get a good amount of piles of gold, you can get your 10. So those are going to be every 20 minutes, and it's going to differ depending on the hour as well. Okay, so those are your options. If you're also a PvPer, this might take a little bit longer, but between 3 and 5 depending if you win or lose. Okay, so now let's go over to my retainers and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I have sold so far. Alright, so because the Sylvan Subterrane, you actually get enough tokens to get at least one of everything except the coat. You guys can sell the slacks, the shoes, and the gloves, or the hat if you like. I've sold 1 pair of gloves, and this idiot decided to undercut by 40,996. But it doesn't really matter because the sales history shows that they were not selling very well. But if you want to chance it, use your tokens on that, but I'd probably get the emote over the glamour itself. Anyway, the top retainer here has 2.3 million gil. So as you can see, I've been selling the necromancer minion and then one machinist barding from the Ishka restoration. So the first one, I ended up selling it for 300k, that's from tax, and then I went up to 350, then I went up to 400, and then I went back down to 350 because they weren't selling as fast. As for the machinist barding, I think this was 350 as well. So I made 2.3 million from that. Now, usually I would say don't undercut too much, but I'll show you guys why I undercut it a little bit more than usual. So right now they're going for 689k. Look at the sales history. Nothing says that someone is going to willing to pay that much. Only one person paid that much. So in instances like this, it is okay to undercut by half. Okay? Because you're going by the sales history, not your own intuition. So in this case, undercut by what people are buying it for. So for me, I cut it down to 350 to 400 and they sold perfectly fine. So if you look at machinist barding, we can see that these are going for 773k, but people are not even buying it for that much. The only time people bought that was back at April, March, then one here last month, but people were buying them a lot cheaper. So again, in this case, you want to cut it by half. So let's look at the overzealous. Let's take a look at what those are. So these are 169k. So these are where they should be. So they were over a million, because the event, people dropped them down considerably because obviously no one's paying that much for that freaking emote. So, and then you got the hairstyle, which is outrageously overpriced at 800k. But if we look at the sales history, well, they were over a million, but they dropped down to 800 something k. But only a few people bought them, but not as much as the necromancer and the machinist barding. But if you want to go with the hairstyle over the necromancer and all that, go based on your intuition and the sales history as well. So that's going to be my honest advice on what to sell in the Moogle event. If you guys want my strategy for Blue Mage for Cutter's Cry, check out the video that I did for the Moogle event, which I will link down below. Alright guys, so that's pretty much going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the rest of my channel for more Final Fantasy XIV content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Good luck on your ocean fishing, good luck on your gates, and good luck selling. And that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you're new for more Final Fantasy XIV content and help with the YouTube algorithm. If you guys want to support my channel even further, consider becoming a YouTube member, Patreon supporter, or help me on Ko-Fi. The links for those will be in the description down below, as well as my Discord. And the extra special shout out to the members on screen. So until next time, if you ever walk in the glorious light of Lord Bahamut, and always remember to keep forging ahead.